Welcome back to Kenan and Kel with Adam and Aaron. I'm Aaron.
I'm Adam.
And this week we are reviewing a very relevant episode for the times that we're in 2020. The Cold War, episode 8 of season 1.
Yes, excited to get into this, and yeah, very relevant to the times that we are currently in.
Yeah, I think the only main theme, besides all the political mumbo-jumbo, they did not touch on masks in this episode, which is the
Right.
hot topic of the year.
Masks would have saved, like, everything. Right? If everyone had a mask on, there'd be no episode.
Everything in this episode would have been made better with some social distancing, some facial coverings. Yeah. But we're going to get into it and more. So
Absolutely. Do you have an intro for us?
I do. An intro that's very near and dear to my heart.
All right, let's listen in.
Medicine is a noble profession. Every day, doctors try to diagnose, treat, and heal patients with problematic conditions. They use their expertise to sift through symptoms, trying their best to get to the root cause of the condition. That's the intent, at least. While doctors prescribe medicine, they aren't the ones who make it. That happens within pharmacology. In recent years, the ills of big pharma have been exposed here and there, causing some to question whether their intents lie more in bettering the population health or improving their bottom lines. Regardless, there's no doubt about the lucrative nature of pharmaceutical drugs. They make a lot of money. However diabolical the organizers behind the big pharma machine may seem, their intent remains pure. They want to heal people. They want to help. As the coronavirus continues to spread throughout the world, scientists are desperately looking for treatments and vaccines that will stop the virus in its tracks. They're looking for a remedy to COVID-19, a cure-all, something that will kill the virus all or most of the time. But making medicine takes time. It requires a lot of research, clinical trials, FDA approvals, the list goes on and on. Progress is slow. Perhaps these scientists could learn something from the exploratory Chicago native, Kenan Rockmore. While Kenan recognizes the devastation caused by the virus that is the common cold, he doesn't sit around and wait for a cure to fall into his lap. He goes on the offensive. He creates a medicine himself, a medicine that didn't require a sterilized laboratory but a messy kitchen. A medicine that works. Let's just hope they don't forget to write down the recipe for the coronavirus vaccine when they come up with it.
Wow, another one for the ages.
That one was about medicine and like him making medicine, and like I'm only gonna touch on the corrupt pharmaceutical industry just a little bit. But
Well, yeah, you're definitely on the same side as Kenan on this, because he's very.
Oh yeah, he's anti-medicine. Yeah. He's like, those don't work. Okay, we'll get there.
Yeah. After Coolio with our wonderful Kenan Kel theme song, do you listen to it every week?
This week was the first. Usually I do to set the mood, but this week I just pressed skip. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, well, I skipped it for a different reason, because usually for these episodes I'll watch it like twice, kind of one like, raw sitting, and then another one where I slowly take notes. This one, it's been like a month since the last time we recorded, so I watched this episode once with my girlfriend early on, once with you and Rachel, our sister. Yep. And just again recently, just to really get close to our recording. So
yeah, and I think you could watch it every day with the coronavirus happening. I think it's that relevant.
I agreed.
Yeah,
and the it kind of talks a little bit about the dangers of rushing medical treatments.
Just a little bit. Yeah, the importance of the scientific process. That's definitely in this episode too, for sure. Now, we have the intro here. They walk out on the stage, and Kenan is wearing the epitome of Kenan outfits. He's wearing a white shirt that has a black collar, a t-shirt, and it has the Wonder Bread logo on it. And over top of that, he has a denim vest, that big denim vest with those like giant denim pockets. And then he has the baggiest denim jeans. And I just saw it and I'm like, and a gold chain, right? This is the perfect Kenan Rockmore outfit.
It might be because I watched this episode like 3 times, but I think I'm like used to it now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've been watching so many Kenan and Kel episodes. It's hard. It's like, oh yeah.
It's
90s.
just the visual language of the show. If it was like animation, I'd be like, oh, is that animation style?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep, they come out, and immediately we are presented with the problem of the episode, which is Kel's all sneezy.
Kel sneezes, and then he blows his nose, and then he coughs.
And finally, he requests mouthwash, which... Has mouthwash ever like soothed your cold symptoms?
No, but I think I could understand it a little bit. You know how like your throat gets all scratchy when you start coughing a lot? Mm-hmm. Well, the mouthwash, I mean, I guess it could kind of like with the alcohol in it, it could kind of kill the some of the bacteria in the back of your throat. But that's like quite the like fringe kind of, I don't know, cold treatment.
Pseudoscience is what you're saying when it comes to...
I mean, yeah, like it could work, but he definitely read it on some like strange, some website that's not like accredited.
In a chain email on...
Yeah. Like five hacks for getting rid of your cold faster.
Oh, yeah, it's a funny prop gag because he asks Kenan for it, who happens to have some. Then he asks for Cool Mints, which Kenan also has.
Yeah. Kenan reaches into his like bottomless pockets.
Yeah. Maybe that's not just he has it on his person. He's just got everything on his person with that outfit.
It's very possible. It was like Kel's backpack in the Doing It the Hemingway episode, right?
Yeah. I got some Hemingway episode vibes with all like kind of lists of weird stuff in this one.
Yep, definitely. Yeah, that definitely like that episode set the precedent for like the listing phenomenon we find in this show.
Yeah, sure.
But anyways, Kenan tells Kel like it's gonna be okay because we have some good things coming up in this television program. Mm-hmm.
And we get right into them.
So we open up at Rigby's, as always.
As we often do.
Yeah.
It's one of 2 places where we open.
It's usually Rigby's.
Rockmore's Rigby's. Yeah, so yes, Rigby's. And Kenan has a new activity that he's doing to pass the time.
Yeah, so Kel rushes in holding a cantaloupe. And Kenan asks for the cantaloupe, and he taps it a few times to, make sure it's a good cantaloupe. Adequate for what's about to happen. And then Kenan gets his drill, and he drills 3 holes in the cantaloupe, which he then sticks his fingers into, and he bowls, with the pins being soda bottles.
And that looked like he got a strike, of course.
Of course. I wonder how many takes it took.
Yeah, not none.
not none. No. What I really love about it is he has good form. Like his back leg comes up and he's like,
You see him like get the little powder.
Yeah.
Before he puts
Looks
his fingers
like he
in.
really had, they got the whole alley like open, and yeah, it was good.
It's a good gag when it comes to the Rigby openers.
Yeah, definitely. The second one with a cantaloupe.
Right.
If you remember the pilot.
Kel, who's now in the store, starts coughing and sneezing, and Chris comes out as responsible shop owners should nowadays.
Absolutely.
Just angrily spraying disinfectant everywhere.
Yeah. He yells, "Who sneezed?" And then they ask him, like, "Chris, what's the big deal?" He says, "Germs! Germs are my problem." And he pretty much sprays down everything with the disinfectant, including Kel.
Yeah, just right in Kel's face. Kel proceeds to sneeze in Chris's face, which he sprays himself down, and yeah, no, he was very he has a tirade about how no one wants to shop in a place where there's germs and it's unclean and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, no.
Yep. And right after Kel coughs in his face, he sprays him and he chases him out of the store and he says, "Get away from me! Get away from where I am!" I just thought that was such a good Chris line.
Yeah. He then proceeds to inspect the Kenan's game of bowling, and he says a line I love: "Who impaled my melon?"
It's so, it's so Nickelodeon. You know, we're starting to get a lot of these, like, "You're holding my liver," and "Who impaled my melon?"
Yeah.
You know, it's the same kind of like funny word that is very accurate in the moment, but it's just kind of goofy.
Yeah, I think this is a good Chris scene. Like sometimes it's season 1, sometimes he's not right, but this one, they picked a lane for him. He's like, "Oh, germaphobe, got it," and he just goes all out.
Yeah, good character development too, because I mean, germaphobes, you know. Well, I guess we can't say this nowadays, but germaphobes used to have a very certain like persona. You know, it's like you know, you could tell a lot about somebody when they used hand sanitizer after everything. Fear was like the name of, you know, fear was definitely present in their lives, but now, of course, everybody uses hand sanitizer all the time.
Absolutely, yeah. Did you love this transition?
Oh, I did. There were really good transitions this episode. Do you want to tell people what this one was?
This one was a bowling transition.
Yes.
A la the cantaloupe.
Excellent. So then we head over to the Rockmore kitchen where Kyra is making dinner.
And I love the reasoning behind it. Their mom comes in and like is upset to see the, you know, this 9-year-old girl, cooking up dinner, and Kenan's just on the couch. Yeah. I think Kyra says something like, "Kenan told me to make myself useful." And Kenan's over there just slouched down. And then his mom walks over and says, "Kenan, isn't it about time for you to make yourself useful?" And then, yes, he is. He's making sure the TV's good. And they keep it going, too, because their dad then comes home and says, asking why Kyra is cooking, and Kenan shouts from the couch as he tries and fails to reach the remote.
Yes, exactly. And then he asks his dad for the remote. Perfect Kenan scene.
All right, sit down for dinner. I also noted that there's no wall between the kitchen.
I think they got rid of that a couple episodes ago, right?
Yeah, sometimes they have it, sometimes they don't.
You know, it's very fluid house. They can change it around. You know, if they can't decide.
What did Kyra cook up for dinner?
Macaroni and cheese.
Keep going. Yes.
In a giant stock pot. That looks like a at least 12-quart stock pot.
And she ladles out like clearly like props of like a macaroni balls that are like, you know, I'm gonna say mustard yellow. Yes.
They are clumps of. It doesn't look like macaroni.
No,
not
they
at
look
all.
Neon, honestly.
And then Kyra reveals that she ran out of cheese. And Kenan, of course, is concerned because, you know, cheese is a very essential element to macaroni and cheese. So we find out that she replaced the cheese with pork fat. And to make it yellow, she used mustard.
That's our first of several weird food combos. Yeah, definitely a weird... does that sound good to you?
No. The pork fat, I mean like bacon is pork fat.
Sure.
But not like with pasta in a ball.
Yeah, if there was like another ingredient involved here. If like she was like pork fat and like a little pork loin, maybe dice that up, mix that in right.
Yeah, not just like a giant pot of macaroni balls.
Noodles and a fat, bad combo.
Yeah.
Kel arrives in the house because his parents didn't want him staying at their house getting everyone sick.
Yes, and of course, Mr. Rockmore is not happy that Kel is there. But Mrs. Rockmore, you know, she doesn't want him going out on the street. It's snowing outside, of course. And then Kel proceeds to sneeze all over the Rockmore's dinner. Just sneezes right on it.
Just hit everyone's face. What I really like is that we learn a little bit more about Mr. Rockmore now, in this whole episode, but especially this scene. He is an air traffic controller.
Yes. Sorry, it's been a while since we recorded. We're still getting our mojo back. It seems like you wanted me to say that. Anyways.
That's fine.
Yes. Roger is an air traffic controller. He lands airplanes at the airport, which, I've been to Chicago, so Chicago O'Hare Airport.
Oh, maybe he landed your plane.
Maybe he did. We'll get back to the plane landing in a couple minutes.
Yeah. Well, I on my third watch, I didn't catch on my first two, but on the third watch, I realized that is Mr. Rockmore's name Roger like a pun on the fact that he's an air traffic controller?
Yes. I think it has to be.
Yeah. Later when the plane was talking to him, they were like, Roger, over and out. And like Roger, they might as well have said.
Yeah, exactly. Roger. What I'm noticing right now is in the kitchen, there's a clock on the wall, and it says it's about 5:50, which is, no, 6:50, sorry, which is fairly accurate for, dinner time. Anyways, attention to detail is there, people, okay? Attention to detail is there.
6:50. Oh, yeah, that's awesome. I love it when they keep that true.
Yeah, great. It's honest, yeah.
That said, I don't know if it was snowing in any other scenes this episode.
No, not really, no.
Hey, snow sometimes pops up later around dinner time.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, maybe the cold weather is probably why Kel got a cold, and it's also a pun on the coldness of, having a cold, being cold. Anyways.
Oh. Yeah. This episode has more layers than I thought.
Oh, it's deep. This goes deep.
It's got all the layers of a Cairo mac and cheese.
Yes. All right, so I think that's it for that scene, and then we jump to the infamous Kenan Rockmore bedroom,
which is just full of everything.
Everything, drawers open, socks hanging out, and Kel is sleeping next to him on the floor, of course with his baseball hat on.
Yep, and just snoring bad, real bad wheezing and stuff.
Yeah, he's motor snoring. He's like. Yes.
Kenan wakes up and he confronts him about it and discovers that he's still eating Kyra's mac and cheese meal because he loves it.
Yeah, he brought a plate up. Very, very interesting midnight snack. But Kenan then is dead set on getting Kel better because he does not want his sleep to be interrupted. So what he does,
a little selfish of him, because Kel was hopping and bouncing all around the past two scenes, just getting everyone that he touched sick, as we learn.
Yes.
but as soon as Kenan's slightly inconvenienced by his sleep, he's like, all right, I'm putting an end to this.
So, yes, exactly. But Kenan, as we know, is an action taker. So they march downstairs to the kitchen, turn on the lights, and this is the best part of the episode, of course.
Yes, when Kenan creates a medicine for Kel out of whatever's in the kitchen.
And when Kel questions Kenan, he says, "But your mom already gave me cough medicine," and he lists a couple. And Kenan says,
"Oh, hang on, we have to zoom in on this." He lists phlegm away, throat lube, and something I think that's called shayu flesh.
Oh my goodness!
I have no idea what he's saying.
Yeah, it's one of those Kel mumbles. Yes, phlegm away is definitely a good one there.
I don't know about throat lube.
Yeah. Let's just keep going there.
That might be why he liked the mac and cheese, because it just slid right down.
It's very possible. Very possible. That mac and cheese did not look good.
All right, so what's Kenan up to?
So Kenan is just grabbing stuff out of the cupboards and the fridge, and he is dead set on like I said, on making Kel a medicine that works for him.
I think he starts with some good reasoning, right?
Yes. Oh, great reasoning. Yeah. So he pulls out chicken because, chicken soup, that's what you give sick people. So chicken must have some healing properties. Except this is fried chicken, but Kenan doesn't think that's going to matter. So he puts the fried chicken in the food processor, turns it on for a couple seconds, and now he has a fried chicken puree.
Mess, I think is the word. The bones are still in it, and
it's a big mess. It's nice and brown. And then the reasoning is still good. Like, he continues solid reasoning. So he puts in some cough drops. That makes sense.
Yeah. When you're coughing, take cough drops.
Totally. Next ingredient is eggs, because eggs are the children of the chicken. Raw eggs, mind you. And now this
with shells.
With shells, yeah. This is where the reasoning kind of takes a detour. He adds sardines because, he's never seen a sardine with a cold.
Yep. So, flawless. And then he stops giving reasons. He's just deteriorated into just putting everything in the cupboard, including
everything.
Hot sauce, pickles, mustard, Lebanese mustard, that is, and marshmallows.
and of course, orange soda.
Yes, because Kel loves orange soda, and then instead of orange juice. So ends with a little bit more reasoning, but I think there are 0 ingredients in common between orange soda and orange juice.
Yeah, 0 for sure. Just the color.
You've been known to make some weird breakfast meals.
Oh, that's
some different combos and
definitely. Oh, sure.
Do you think that there's any? We know the reasoning, but do you think that this combo of food is good for a cold?
Okay, so from a medicinal standpoint, he is like touching on a lot of good stuff. The eggs have digestive enzymes in them. Like that's good for breaking down, cold particles. Sardines have fish oils. Fish oil is really important to decrease inflammation. Hot sauce, I don't really know. Marshmallows, definitely not. Lebanese mustard, probably some mustard healing properties, but no. In short,
No.
there is no. But what I do love is when Kenan mixes it up. The lid isn't on tight, so it goes everywhere. It just runs off the counter. It's awful. It just is hard to watch.
It's a great climax to the scene. Just this huge mess that he's made is just exploding everywhere.
Yes. Yeah. It's almost hard to watch, like I said. But anyways, then he pours a glass of it. He hands it to Kel, and then Kel takes it reluctantly and drinks it.
Yeah, and can you believe that Kel actually drank that?
Oh my gosh! It was like they didn't change shots at all, and he drank the actual cup that Kenan handed him.
He hands it to him, and he drinks it. It's so much more orangey, and he loves it.
Yeah, it was definitely like what he drank was actually, it had to be like an orange creamsicle like milkshake. That's what it looked like. It looked like an orange milkshake.
I don't blame them, because to replicate that color exactly is really hard, I imagine.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's gotta. They probably spent like a good hour, finding the right color.
And yeah, they just settle on like cartoony orange.
Yeah, I mean that is the show though. That's Nickelodeon for you, cartoony orange.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyways, Kel burps a little bit after he drinks it, and he says it tastes like chicken.
I think you have that backwards. Tastes like chicken burps. That's
okay. I apologize. I apologize to all the listeners. I will do better next time. That's all I can say.
I'll expect your resignation before next episode.
Yeah, we'll have to get another Aaron on this podcast.
Oh no, I've ridden myself to a corner.
How many Aarons do you know that like Kenan and Kel? Anyways, well, it seems like the medicine worked.
Yeah, first thing in the morning, Kel is watching what I believe is like Gene Simmons or Gene Simmons parody. You know who he is?
Yes, like 80s, 90s workout. Yeah,
the short, wiry 80s guy. Yeah,
workout guru. Yeah, so he's watching a VHS tape of somebody working out, and he's wearing a very patriotic outfit.
Yeah, before you describe it, I want to say that this is an outfit that I picture you wearing and working out in.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like he literally has like Rocky Balboa's shorts in Rocky 4. Like that's what that's. I actually don't know if that's not what Rocky's shorts look like, but half of them. It's the American flag shorts, and then like a tank top
and a backwards American flag colored hat.
Yep.
Yeah, and he's having the time of his life.
He is enjoying himself early in the morning, probably waking everybody up,
and working on his buttocks.
He's working on his buttocks. Yes, he uses a nice little hip thrust to demonstrate, which the audience loves. The audience loves that. He kind of just
And we're really in your wheelhouse this episode. How are his exercise forms?
You know what? He early in the morning, just moving around is the best thing you can do. You know, just get your blood flowing. Doesn't have to have a perfect form to it or anything. But I think he's doing good. Probably getting his heart racing a little bit.
Yeah, good call.
See a little perspiration. Yeah, props to him.
So Kenan comes down and is amazed that his cold has gone away, and happily discovers that he has cured the common cold.
Yes, which nobody in history has ever done.
Yes, that's a. I really like that premise for this episode. Now that we're finally there and it's revealed, just I think sometimes you see a lot of sick day episodes and stuff like that, so it's really it's a good twist on it.
Yeah, it's a good twist. Kenan is excited because now he might win a Nobel Prize, but he doesn't know what that is really. And anyways, all he sees is as soon as he has this inclination that he cured Kel and the common cold, all he sees is money and fame and recognition and awards and all the classic things.
Yeah. So out of his original little selfishness to get Kel to bed, has now evolved into his usual kind of greed and hunger for fame and fortune.
That is pretty much how it works with Kenan. Yeah, but there is this one moment Kenan says Kel, do you know what this means? And then Kel I forget how it happened, but he basically gives him a hug and says
he said, "Oh, I've been waiting for this. I love you."
yeah. Gives him a hug.
No, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I love that. I love that moment. So tender.
Yeah. So they discuss the ingredients, realizing that Kel drank every last drop of the past one,
and they forgot the recipe because they didn't write it down. And it was late at night, so they don't remember everything they threw in.
To which Kenan replies, "Why?"
The first of two whys in this episode, and we'll get to the second one later.
Yes.
Very important second one.
We're at 5 total whys this whole show.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'm keeping track. So yes, then they go through a perilous attempt to try and recreate the recipe. Just absolutely destroying everything in the kitchen.
There is food and packages and wrappers and bottles and cans and jars all over the kitchen. I am blown away that they had that much food in the cupboards. Because there's a cake, there's mushrooms and cans of fish and potatoes. They have all kinds of food. Anyways, yeah. I was just. A dirty kitchen makes me very upset, and that's the scene is a big trigger for me.
Yeah, so maybe not your episode after all.
Well, no,
cardinal rules.
In a way it is.
So yes, they kind of Kel remembers some ingredients, but after trying so much, he's like, "No, yeah, you got it right. This is it."
Yep.
To which Kenan celebrates.
Kenan is very happy.
Kel says, "You're gonna win that motel prize after all."
Oh, I didn't catch that.
That's a really funny. That's one of when you watch it 3 times, you catch all the little things that.
Right, exactly. That's funny. Yeah, as I'm looking at it now, I just see multiple loaves of bread and coupons on magnets that are on the fridge. So yeah, that's a great catch though. The motel prize, I love that.
Kenan's dad shows up, and he's got a couple symptoms. Do you know what those are?
Oh yeah, I wrote them down. His head aches. His throat is in knots. No, I didn't write this down. My handwriting is getting worse.
I know the third one is.
I know the third one.
Yeah, his nose is full of goo.
Yeah. Oh, his throat hurts. No, okay, his throat hurts.
That's a better line.
Yeah.
My throat's in knots.
Yeah, that's a great line. Why didn't they use that? That's a great way to describe it when you have a sore throat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you feel like you're all tied up and you're okay. Anyways, before he heads off to work at the airport, he suggests that Kel should look into moving to Australia because he is sick and tired of him.
Kenan says, "I've got good news. Kel's moved to Australia." It's really, it's a good bit, and the transition after this scene.
Yeah. What I got the transitions after this. What was this one again?
It was the globe.
Oh yeah,
and it zooms in on Australia.
Yeah, they nailed the transitions. I really hope the transitions keep up and keep staying this good.
Oh, I think they go crazier than this. It's weird. Season 1, sometimes I'll watch a whole episode and I not note any of them.
Yeah,
but other times, they're good.
I really think they realized it's like a great opportunity to add that extra flair to the show. Add that
a good little joke, a little whimsy.
Yeah, exactly. So we transition to the TV room, which is, Kenan Kel's famed skit spot right in front of the couch.
Yeah. Skits on the couch.
Yeah, it's classic.
What are they debating this time?
That karate is better than kung fu.
Yes, and they demonstrate both powers. Is it Kel that rips Kenan's heart out?
Yes, and then he holds it, and he holds the heart out in front of him, and he pulses it, throbs it. It's a really, really good bit. And then the phone rings, and then Kenan says "Oh, can I have that back?"
and he puts it back in. Yeah.
Puts the heart back in. Chris calls. Chris is sick, very noticeably, and he calls Kenan into work. Kenan wasn't supposed to work because it's Saturday. And he says he'll be there in 30 minutes.
And he rushes over to the fridge and pulls out, time to cure another cold.
Precisely. And
with his serum.
With his secret sauce. And
yeah, wait a second. You remember that from Good Burger?
Oh, yeah.
Which is very, very similar vibe to what's going on in this episode now that I think about it.
Remember that, because I have another Kenan Thompson role that comes up again at the end of this episode.
Okay.
Okay, and then the transition to Rigby's is a giant nose that pops up on the screen and sniffs, which having a large nose myself, I appreciate that. I appreciate getting some clout,
getting some work.
Yeah. I'm really glad that the big noses are finally getting some credit. Anyways, at Rigby's, our favorite customer is trying to buy a carton of juice.
Ethel, I believe is her name.
Yes.
Yeah, and she's trying to buy a carton of juice, which Chris immediately says, "Oh, great juice," and drinks it in front of her and coughs her out of the store.
Yeah,
which is a little hypocritical of Chris, who yesterday, I don't want anyone's sickness to turn away my customers, yet he does exactly that.
Let's just take a moment to relate this to the world we live in now. If this happened, a store owner coughed without even trying to hold back, without wearing a mask, in an elderly person's face. That is a crime against humanity. He could go to prison.
Absolutely. And also in vibe with the current, situation. It's like he was adamant with his disinfecting of the space. Like, he was all over it, but he still caught. He wasn't good enough to prevent Kel's sickness from catching it.
Yeah, he also there was no talk about bolstering his immune system before he got sick. There was no talk about vitamin D or getting enough cardiovascular activity.
He wanted orange juice afterwards, but beforehand, like, maybe he could have prevented all this.
Yeah, it's like these people who lived in 1996 didn't know anything about viral protection. Jeez.
Yeah. So they show up and why does Chris say the word malarkey?
Because Kenan's like, we have a cure for the common cold. Here, try this. It works. And he says, oh, malarkey.
We don't know what malarkey means.
And then the Chris basically calls them clowns for thinking that they came up with the cure for the common cold.
Yes. And as Kenan's like, no, we're serious, you see Kel off to the side juggling apples.
Yes. While he's only juggling 2 apples, it is very, apropos for this moment.
Well, maybe he's, doing that for a year, and then he can juggle 3 of them.
That, like our dad says. Yeah, whenever, our dad can juggle, and whenever we ask him to show us how to juggle, he tells us to juggle 2 of whatever, 2 balls or apples or whatever, and then do that for 1 year. And then come back to him to learn how to juggle the 3rd ball, which is just ridiculous. It's every time
a calendar year.
He says it every time. It's like, what? How many hours a day do I need to practice 2?
Yeah, right.
Is it once a month? Is it is it 2 hours a month? Like, what's the protocol?
Every day, wake up.
Yeah.
Do that Kel workout routine and juggle some stuff.
My number 1 priority in life is learning how to juggle. It will be on the top of the list.
But yeah, the great part about the scene also ties back to that moment from the Tainted of the Screw episode, where we learned that Kel's got a cousin in the circus.
Oh yeah.
So that must be where he learned juggling from.
Or he went to the circus because apparently you can just get circus tickets from boxes of cereal. Very, very, very important in the days of 1996.
That's a lot of circus call-outs. I'm now realizing.
Yeah. Very strange.
I feel like they're going to go back to that well a lot.
I hope they don't. We'll see.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to a circus? Have you ever been to a real circus with elephants and stuff?
Do you remember when they used to set that one up in the park?
No.
Or were you way too young back then? Oh yeah, they would spin plates, have certain animals show up, sell peanuts.
I don't have a good memory of my childhood. I think because I didn't get enough sleep in high school. I'd get 6 hours of sleep a night in high school and wake up and drink coffee. So I don't think any of my long-term memories really consolidated. But when I think of that, I think of a dream I had about Disney World. It's that's how clear my memories are.
Yeah. No, but we've as a family have attended circus in town, but they don't do that stuff anymore.
Yeah.
Not really nice to the animals.
Let's get back. So anyways, Chris starts yawning.
After drinking the formula.
After drinking the formula.
You missed the steps again. He drinks it. He says it tastes like chicken and burps.
Okay, yeah, I'm way off with this, the whole process of this, how this works.
Well, that's how you know it's the exact same one. And they're like, yeah, we did it. But then, Chris starts yawning, gets real sleepy.
And he starts talking about the llama loopers, and he basically passes out on the counter and knocks over a bunch of stuff, and he almost knocks over the glass jar next to the cash register that has gumballs in it, but Kel catches it very, very, very smoothly.
his juggling reflexes are paying off.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I noticed it right away. I'm like, wow, he caught that, and it wasn't even a big deal.
That's real cool.
Nice job, Kel Mitchell.
Good catch, Kel, and good catch, Aaron.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
So yes, he is asleep on the counter, and Kenan starts berating Kel. They argue about Chris, and he shouts a very great line: "You changed the formula."
Yeah. Like he's mad at Kel. Like Kel did something
for his bad science.
Like Kel did something wrong. And it's not long until they realize that Kenan's dad is landing airplanes, and they gave him some of the serum.
They did. So, yeah, Kenan uses Chris as an example. Would you want this man landing your airplane?
Yeah, he like grabs him by the hair, and it shows him his face, and he's just passed out.
And so they leave Rigby's to go to the airport, just leaving a passed out Chris on the counter. No one there.
If somebody wanted to rob that store, that would have been the easiest. Like, yeah, okay. Anyways, the transition, another great transition.
Oh yeah.
As we enter the final scene of the episode, it is an airplane flying across the screen that changes the screen. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, so we go to this really neat sets of the little air traffic controller space.
It is nice. Yeah, it's very nice.
All the control panels and like the night sky in the backgrounds, I guess.
Yeah, it looks like the runway almost, or like these lights for the airport. Yeah,
perhaps a little angled. It's a good mood in there. Yes. So Roger is there. Kenan Kel bursts into the scene to make sure that he doesn't drink it. But he already drank it, and he feels fine. He feels fine.
I'm a little confused because it's dark out, and he left for work in the morning, and that concoction was sitting in his bag like all day, and he drank it right before they got there.
Yeah, I'm starting to piece together the timeline here, and it's not making sense to me.
Well, I mean, okay, we'll give the benefit of the doubt, right? So it was snowing, which means it's winter, which means daylight savings time, which means it gets dark at 5 o'clock. So it's not that far-fetched, but it looks like it's midnight.
Yeah, that also starts to make sense that Chris, who calls Kenan in for work, would probably call him in for work like after school. Like that's normally when he works if he doesn't work on a Saturday normally. So it's, hey, I've been sick all day. Help me out in this evening. We won't try to go too far further into the logic of the time frame of this episode because that's not what's important. It's not important.
No. Yeah. But yeah. Long story short, he drank it and he seems to be doing fine.
Until he doesn't do fine anymore, and he makes a really great like wide-eyed face.
Yeah, you know the face you're trying to make, like when you're sitting in class and you're falling asleep, and you try to just like open your eyes really wide.
You're nodding off, and you're trying to make your
yeah. It's like inevitable. You are going to fall asleep, like without a doubt.
Yeah, so that's and he does. He passes out, and they, Kenan and Kel look at each other and yell, start panicking, and this is the glorious climax of the episode where they have to now deal with the consequences of their actions.
Yeah, so a plane is trying to land, and they call in to Roger, and he's not there. And the other, what do you call it? Air traffic controller had previously gone to go get a burrito, and so they were in there by themselves. I don't know how they ended up there. Maybe pre 9/11 days, you could just kind of walk around an airport.
Yeah, that's true. And he could just say like, yeah, my dad works here. I need to see him about something real fast at the, downstairs.
Right.
Like you said, pre 9/11, that'll work out just fine. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, so they try to like move him, and they yell, "Oh, that's a heavy man."
As he's crushing Kel.
And then Kenan tells Kel to go get some water, and Kel says, "Oh, good idea." So he goes and he gets a little paper cup, fills it with water, comes over, and he drinks it on his way over. and
he goes, "Ah!"
Yeah. And Kenan slaps the cup out of his hand.
Not for you. I think that's my favorite, that's my favorite moment of the episode, because
it's good.
The physical comedy was the slap is so hard.
Yeah.
And he just it flies across the room as he hits
and he does that Kenan face where he's trying to be mad, but he's still such a young actor and he's smiling the whole time.
Yeah. He's just he's very, I guess his angry is loud.
Yeah.
So, not for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that's and then he grabs the cup. Forgive me, Father. Covers his eyes, throws in his face. It does nothing.
It was really funny. Really funny moment. Yeah, so he basically the people trying to land the plane are really getting close, and they're like, "Hey, we need you guys. We need whoever's there to help us land." And so they get on the headsets.
Yeah. After some more exchanges, and they embrace the inevitable, Kel's slapping Kenan's dad's face.
Oh yeah.
When Kenan gets on the radio, he says, "Will you wait a minute?"
Yes.
So yeah, they're using binoculars to try and see the plane.
Yep. Yeah, because they don't know where the radar is.
And what did they ultimately say to the plane?
"Stop my sleeping daddy" was one of the lines, and you don't know. You don't know how to tell an airplane to land. They're very, very much just confused. They're running in circles. They have no idea what to do. When we watch this with Rachel, she's like, "Oh my gosh, my anxiety is through the roof right now," which is just about right.
Yeah, Rachel doesn't like watching Kenan Kel with us because it stresses her out, is what she says.
Yep, I couldn't agree more. It was very, very stressful. Anyways, Kel tells them, the two pilots, to jump because they don't know what to do. And the one pilot's like, "Okay, you heard him." He's like, the other guy's like, "What are you're gonna jump out of the plane?" And he's like, "Yeah, I got tickets to the Bulls game. I have to be in Chicago tonight." And so
I really like the pilots.
Yeah,
they're really funny.
They just don't care. They're like, "Yeah, whatever."
Well, you said you heard what he said. He said jump, so that's what I'm doing. And the other guy says, "I'm going to Nebraska."
Yeah. Because Kel tells him to go to Nebraska, or Kenan or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, the guy, the episode ends with the guy's legs dangling from the window because he parachuted out of the plane. And Kenan's dad wakes up and is furious. And yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, Kenan's dad shouts, "Why?"
Yes.
And where'd the plane go? Nebraska.
And that's the end of the episode. I want to point something out here. No, this is the first time Kenan Thompson plays a role where he is asked or tasked with landing a plane. There is another role that Kenan Thompson plays where he's tasked with landing a plane, and it is in Snakes on a Plane with Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, it's from 2006.
That is Samuel L. Jackson.
I forgot about that.
Right?
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And
he says the line about the snakes, right?
Yeah. "I am tired of these monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday plane." Of course.
Yeah.
The TV version,
as it appears on cable. Yeah.
Yeah. And Kenan Thompson, that time, successfully landed a plane because, of course, he had so much practice from his Kenan and Kel days, but also his video game playing days. Anyways, I just want to draw that parallel because I think
no, that's a great call.
I don't know how many actors have landed multiple planes or been in the situation where they could have.
Yeah, so the other thing that I think is worth noting here is that Kel, if they had taken Kel's advice, that would have been a tragedy. Both pilots jumped out of the plane and the plane crashed. Are you kidding me?
I was thinking the same thing. Aren't there passengers on the plane?
Oh, no.
Oh.
I imagine it was a small, maybe cargo, or it was just them. But
I would hope
because one of them jumped when they got the order to jump, and one of them kept flying the plane. So not everyone on the plane jumped.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
But the stakes were raised for sure. Like the stakes of this episode, it's like if they were flying a plane with people, that's like 150 lives in their hands.
Yeah, these are the biggest stakes yet.
I think so.
Another thing I want to talk about real quick here is so Kenan's okay for the after the episode they're back on stage and Kenan proudly is like, who cares about the common cold cure? This thing will knock you out right away. So Kenan's knockout juice is what he's branding it as. Which I think there's a real good value in that, versus insomnia. People take NyQuil and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He was ahead of that for sure.
The other thing I want to talk about is from the context of the episode and what we understand, Kel drank this juice and he was cured the next day, but similar ingredients, and if you recreated that, you would still struggle with it. I don't think you'd have the same effect, of course.
Right.
However, there's some other ingredients going on in Kel right now. Because if you recall, he had a lot of macaroni, pork fat, and mustard.
Oh, do we have a conspiracy theory a brewing?
Well, that, not to mention the 3 medicines that Kenan's mother gave him.
Aha. So
perhaps that combo of food,
yes,
plus that medicine, plus the pork fat and mustard,
right,
those are the missing ingredients.
I have a great idea. So I'm actually I'm in this program, and I'm going to be a science teacher for 2 years at a Catholic high school in Philadelphia. That's going to be my job, right? So I am going to show them this episode when we talk about the scientific method, because there are so many variables happening. It's a great point, because you really got to dig deep in this episode to see what's going on. But yeah, there's multiple variables. So on the surface, it looks like Kenan did kind of cure the common cold, but really, if we're being honest, we don't know. We don't know.
Correct.
It could have been Kyra.
Yeah, Kyra could be have a credit in that on the Nobel Prize.
Oh yeah. On the biggest problem with the Nobel Prizes, by the way, is usually one person gets them, when that's just the person who's directing the team of scientists who's doing the work.
Oh, that's no fun. That's like when a director gets all the credit for a movie.
Exactly like that. Exactly. Yeah. So that is
it's a team effort here.
It's a team effort. Yeah, it's a team effort. So anyways, side note on the Nobel Prize. Sure. That's the episode though.
Yeah, wrap it up with our usual stuff. I would like to ask you, whose fault do you think it is this week? Kenan's or Kel's?
Kenan, without a doubt.
That it was his pride and ambition that led to this problem.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you can blame Kel's foolishness for not knowing how to act when he's sick, because clearly nobody told him. I do think it's Kenan's fault, because he didn't remember the recipe.
Yeah, and he blamed Kel and forced him to remember, which kind of put Kel into a tight spot where he had to kind of lines yeah, we got it. Yeah, it's all Kenan.
All Kenan. I would say 100% Kenan. Kel is just innocent.
Yep, sounds good. And I'm happy that some other stuff has been Kenan's Kel's cousin in the circus taught him to juggle. That's what I connected.
Yeah, not very successfully, because he's only juggling 2. But maybe he's working. He's got the year of practice.
I hope in later seasons we see him juggling more things.
That would be nice. That would be nice.
Yeah.
Very good.
Another note that I want to have here is that, hey, we've destroyed more content of Rigby's. An entire melon is added to the table.
One melon isn't much, but it definitely moves the needle.
Yes, and Kel has consumed one short bottle of orange soda, not a 2-liter at this time.
Okay.
This might be his new minimum of orange soda drink.
Right, per episode. Right.
Yep. Those meters keep going up. I will have a full count one day.
Definitely.
So Are you ready to get into ratings of this episode?
I'm ready. I thought about this one a little bit more.
Yeah. I was definitely toying back and forth. But I guess first let's do some final impressions. What do you think of the episode as a whole?
I thought it was good. I thought there was a lot of layers to it. It was really funny. We got to see Kel shine. We got to see some character development from Chris and Roger. Good family unit here. Good interactions between the Rockmores and Kel. Overall, just a very funny, lighthearted, and funny and lighthearted, coupled with the ambition of Kenan to cure the common cold.
I thought everyone was in really good form this episode.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of. I think the only dud bit I can think about is the couch skit thing, but they're still they still kind of were learning what they were doing with that stuff.
Yeah.
But besides that, we're definitely it's in good company. So the Cold War on IMDb is ranked 15 on the list of Kenan Kel episodes. So pretty up there. I think it's a real memorable one.
I think so.
So it's highly rated, and IMDb has it as a 7.9. So out of 10 bottles of orange soda, how many would you give this episode?
I would give this one a 9. I liked it a lot.
9.
I liked it a lot. Because it also tapped into the childhood curiosity and creativity, right? Because I think we've all mixed stuff together at one point, as a kid, just to see what would happen. I think overall it was a 9.
Good call. I think this is I was between 8 and 9 for a long time, and I think I gotta just split the difference because I'm still very undecided on it. So I'm gonna give it an 8.5.
That works. That would be that would be 17 liters of orange soda, right?
Yes, correct. Not the full 20.
Yep, not 20. There's multiple levels to this rating scale, people.
Wait, hang on. That's 18.5.
Oh. No, because you gave it 8.5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so 8.
2 liters.
8 times 2.
No, you're right.
This is what happens when we do math on the podcast. We can't keep doing that.
I agree with that. Okay, so yes, 8.5 out of 9. Great. Awesome episode. That's definitely, I think, in our top list right now of this season.
Has to be, yeah.
Now, this is a pop quiz for you. What episode is next on for Kenan Kel?
Am I allowed to look?
Yes, you can.
You said pop quiz.
It's a open book one.
Oh, wait. I just want to make sure there's no hidden.
Oh yeah, I think you found the twist here.
The next episode, is episode 9 of season 1, and it is Dial 0 for Oops.
Well, I'm sorry, but that's the incorrect answer.
Oh no.
There is an episode in season 1 that comes next that is not listed on Amazon.
Oh no.
It's called In the Line of Kenan.
Oh no.
So I have a YouTube link that I can share with you for the episode.
Oh, it's on YouTube, yes. We'll have to share it with the people too.
Happily. And I do not know how long it'll be on YouTube, so I've taken liberties and polled it as well.
Oh, good.
It's also on my... So it appears on my DVD list, but for some reason IMDb doesn't have the full season. It's missing a couple episodes like this one.
Oh my goodness. This is a must-have episode for all of these Kenan and Kel junkies out there.
Yeah. So, In the Line of Kenan involves the duo encountering the president.
Oh.
And I'll leave it at that.
Let's raise the stakes.
The stakes are getting even higher.
Who was the president in 1996? It was right after
Bill Clinton. So, and they do not call him Bill Clinton, but they keep referring to him as the president, and it's kind of obvious.
Fantastic! I can't wait.
You know your history.
All right.
Yes. Can't wait. So join us next time when we we end the Cold War and enter the political climate of the 90s.
coronavirus is gonna be. If only they made Kenan and Kel episodes now.
Nowadays.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Okay. Goodbye, everyone.
Oh, here it goes. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of Kenan and Kel with Adam and Aaron. If you want to stay in touch, send us an email at KenanKelPodcast@gmail.com, or you can send us a voice message at anchor.fm/KenanKelPodcast. Our social media accounts are all at Kenan Kel Podcast. That's Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Thanks, everybody.